Hello, my dear students. How are you all? Let's add value to your knowledge account today. I'm Dr. Bharati Sunil. Welcome to our Finance and Accounting Academy channel. We have discussed about what is cost accounting and what are its advantages and limitations. In today's class, we'll discuss about what are the essentials of good costing system. But what makes good cost accounting system? Today we'll explore the key essentials of good costing system to ensure a system that is effective and truly helps a business. A well-designed cost account system is not just a number, but it is a strategic tool that provides clarity and control. So let's see what are the essential characteristics of good costing system. Here I gave 20 essential characteristics of good costing system. What's the first one? Economy. What is economy? When we are introducing or installing costing system, whatever the benefits we are receiving from installation or introducing this costing system in our business, that benefit should be more than the expenses whatever we are incurring in installation of this costing system. The benefits whatever we derive from the cost accounting system should overweigh the cost of installing and operating it. That means it should not be more expensive than the value that we are deriving from it. So for example, if you take a small business, if it wants to install costing system in its business, then how it has to introduce? It should introduce slowly, bit by bit, so that it should not be expensive to that. Say for example, if a small company wants to have a ERP system, means enterprise resource planning system, then definitely it will be more costlier for them because it is uneconomical to its size of business. Based on the size of business, the system is to be adopted. Costing system is more advisable for medium and large scale units, but not for small scale. That is why if the small scale units want to adopt this costing system, it should introduce step by step so that it should not be expensive to that. Next, coming to the second one, simplicity and clarity. The cost accounting system should be easy to understand and operate it. If the non-accounting person wants to use this information, even he should also understand the system easily. If there is complexity, then it may lead to errors and finally they will resist that system. If you take the example of sweet treats, in sweet treats, if they adopt the costing system, how it is to be framed, even a non-degree holder also can enter the data without any problem. So whatever the forms are prepared to enter the data, that should not be complicated. Or the software, whatever the business is using, that should not be too difficult to navigate. Because if the forms are difficult or the software is difficult to navigate, then the basic purpose of implementing cost accounting will be defeated, because the persons may make mistakes. So to avoid those mistakes, they may completely avoid using costing system. So that is why the system should be simple and easy to understand and implement. Next, third one, suitability to the business. Suitability to the business means here it should be tailor made. So based on the nature, size of the business and operational structure of the business, the costing system should be implemented. For example, a manufacturing company with complex production procedures will need more detailed cost accounting system. Perhaps that includes job costing, process costing, and whatever the other costing that are required, all that should be integrated into that. So the costing system must align with the operational realities of the business. Next, accuracy and reliability. So whatever the data that is provided by the costing department, that should be accurate and that should be reliable, because based on that only management will take decisions. So whatever the data that is provided, that should be accurate, reliable and more consistent. Why? Because whenever any decision is to be taken by the management, that should be provided on time to them. So it should be consistent in nature. So if any inaccurate or unreliable data is provided to the management, then that may lead to flawed decisions, which can be more damaging the company than having no information at all. Say for example, if you take one textile business, If it is miscalculating the material wastages, then whatever the purchase decisions they are making, that will be definitely incorrect. Or whatever the cost reduction targets they may say, that definitely be unachievable. And these incorrect information may lead to material shortages or budget overruns. That is why accurate, reliable, and consistent information is to be provided by costing system. Next, timeliness, prompt, and regular. So information is to be provided by the costing department to the management on time. So if any information is delayed, then decisions may be delayed. So that will be affecting the business. So on time, prompt, and regular costing information is to be provided by costing department. Next, comparability. So what is comparability? Whatever the cost data is calculated, that can be easily comparable with the previous quarter's data, or with the other departments data, or with the industry benchmarks. So this comparison will help for performance evaluation and identifying trends. Take example of a clothing manufacturer. He wants to compare the shirt whatever he manufactured in this quarter with the previous quarter shirt. He wants to know whether the cost is increased or decreased. If the costs are increased or decreased, then he can investigate the reasons for that, and he can make changes or corrections in that. Next, flexibility and adaptability. So when we are adapting cost accounting system, that should be more flexible to adapt in that particular organization. So the cost accounting system should be flexible enough to adapt to business operations and changes in business environment, technology, or market conditions without requiring a complete overhaul. Next, integration with other systems. So cost account system should be integrated with financial accounting, production planning, and inventory management. So this avoids duplication of efforts and also ensures data consistency. So for example, in a manufacturing plant, if the inventory management system regularly updates the information to the cost accounting system, then immediately costing department will ensure that the data is calculated based on the updated information. This will help them to calculate direct material cost. This will definitely help costing department to avoid manual data entry and errors. Next, reconciliation with financial accounts. So at the end of the year, the cost accounts, whatever we have prepared, that will be reconciled with financial accounts. So the profit shown by the cost accounts for a particular product, that should match with the overall profit calculated by the financial accounts. If any differences are found, that should be investigated, and that should be explained. When cost accounts are reconciled with financial accounts, then there will be reliability of both sets of records. Next, management support. For good costing system, what is required? Management support is required. So for any cost accounting system, management support is required. If the management full support and commitment is there, then the cost accounting system will be definitely successful. Without their backing, the system may not be effectively implemented or utilized. For example, if the CEO and senior managers are not actively reviewing the cost reports or demand the cost related insights for the decision making, then the efforts made by the costing department may go waste. This may lead to poor data input and reduce effectiveness of cost accounting department employees. So that is why complete management support is required for good costing system. Now coming to the 11th one, gradual organizational setup. So here, when the organization is initiating costing system, it should be gradually implemented. Means it should be implemented slowly, step by step. If the system is smoothly and gradually introduced, then the system can be easily adaptable by the organization. And costing department also can easily adjust it with the existing system of the business. Next, acceptance by staff. So before introducing costing system, management should provide information. Means management should educate their employees and should make them to know what is the need and importance of costing system in the organization. If the employees understand the need and importance of the costing system, then definitely they will accept the system. For good costing system, what is required? Acceptance by the staff is required. Next, update. What the costing department should do. The costing department should provide current data and avoid old data, because current data is required for future decision making. Management always requires current data, not old data. So costing department should provide updated cost data to the management. Next, uniformity means consistent forms and instructions. See, the system, whatever is adopted in the organization, that should be uniform. If any cost data is to be submitted by employees, then the forms are to be same. So every time the form should not be changed. There should be uniformity in that. Then it will be easy for them to submit the data to the organization. And also they should organization should provide instructions to the staff. So how to fill the data, at what time they have to fill, what is to be included, what is not required. All the information is to provide in the form of instructions. So these instructions will be working as a manual for them to enter the data on time and submit to the management. Cooperation and coordination among departments, that is very much essential. So for perfect working, cooperation from all the departments is required. Materials department, purchase department should provide on time data, production department should provide on time data. Next, HR department should provide on time data. All the information should be provided on time to costing department. If the all departments are working collectively, if they have that coordination, then costing department can work successfully. Next, minimal clerical work means here unnecessary paperwork is to be avoided. So less paperwork. Otherwise, what happens? They will go on writing and writing, and the number of papers will be increased, and people will not also have the time to check all the papers. So this is reducing the efficiency levels of employees. So that is why reduce clerical work means minimize paperwork. Next, periodicity. So whatever the information that is required by the management, that should be prepared regularly and that should be presented. See, the cost data is to prepared and the results are to be submitted to the management, and that should be done on time. So that is called what? Periodicity. So what is the period that is required, say whether it is weekly or monthly or quarterly. So based on that, that reports are to be submitted to the management. Next, systematic waste system is required for perfect functioning of costing system. And also material control, where there are unnecessary wastages of materials, and where there is a shortage of materials, where there is loss of materials, all this is to be communicated to the costing system. So perfect material control will definitely help costing department to update information regularly and provide the information to the management, so that if any corrections are to be made, if any changes are to be made, if any controls are to be made, that can be done on time. Next, proper allocation of overheads. So for proper allocation of overheads, what rate is to be used, whether it is labor hour rate or machine hour rate, everything is to be perfectly studied and that should be implemented in the organization. So what is about essential characteristics of good costing system? So we have discussed about 20 essential characteristics. This is for essay question. I gave here 20 points. If you write 15 also, that is sufficient for essay answer. So what are discussed here? For good costing system, we require economy, means it should not be expensive and it should be simple and it should be very clear, and it should be suitable to the nature of the business, size of the business, and the information whatever we are providing, that should be accurate and should be reliable, and whatever the information that we are providing, that should be timely provided, and it should be prompt and it should be regular in nature, and the cost data whatever you are providing that is comparable in nature. Next, the system when we are adopting, that should be flexible in nature and it should be easily adaptable. Next, it should integrate with other systems, inventory system, financial accounting system, right? Next, reconciliation with financial accounts. So when we are preparing cost accounts, that should be matched with, means reconciled with financial accounts. management support. So perfect cost account system can be possible only when there is complete support, means full support by the management. Next, gradual organizational setup. So when we want to introduce costing system in our organization, we should introduce that step by step. Slowly we have to introduce. Next, acceptance by staff. So uniformity. So consistent forms are to be set for updation of day cost data, and also instructions are to be given so that unnecessary confusion will be avoided among employees. Next, cooperation and coordination among departments, that is very much essential, because if all the departments are coming together to work unitedly, then the costing department can provide cost data on time without any unreliable or inaccurate data. Next, minimal clerical work. What does it mean? We should avoid unnecessary paperwork. Next, periodicity. So we have to prepare regularly cost data, and that results are to be submitted to the management on time for their decision making. Next, a systematic waste system is required for perfect implementation of costing system, and material control is required, because wherever wastages are happening, there should be control. Otherwise, our total cost will not be reduced. So material control is required. Next, to proper allocation of overheads, means excessive allocation of overheads to one product, or less allocation of overheads to another product or department should be avoided. So all these are essential characteristics of good costing system. That's all for today. But learning never stops. If you like my videos, please like, share, and subscribe and comment. Along with this cost accounting video, I'm also doing business economics and financial accounting. So please share with your friends or known persons, so that videos will be definitely helpful to them. In the next video, I'll explain about elements of cost classification. Keep learning, keep growing. We'll meet in the next video. Thank you.